Once you go into deep meditation or you do some kind of powerful breath work and you leave your body and you become consciousness, floating in that eternal now space, you realize how fluid and fast everything is. You're everywhere at the same time. I wanted to jump into this subject just a little bit on false geometry, false mathematics. And if we take a journey back to the halls of Amenti, the emerald tablets, I want to read a quote from the being that was supposed to have created these emerald tablets, who goes by the name Thoth. Is someone that I encountered every day for 9 months when I was going into the mystery schools underneath the Great Pyramids back in 2015, when I was being shown ancient scriptures and codes that became the foundation of star magic, the healing modality that we're changing the world with at the moment. So I'm going to read this to you. He who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light. Free is he, made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of light and of life. I'm going to read that one more time. He who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into the light. Free is he, made of the halls of Amenti, free of the flower of light and of life. So when we look at the halls of Amenti, some people say they're a physical place. There are elements of truth to this, but when you truly feel into this and look into this situation and connect to the halls of Amenti, you realize they are vibrational spaces. They are ancient corridors of wisdom. They are dimensional fields. And we as human beings entering this earthly plane, we go on a journey. And what they're talking about and referring to in the Emerald Tablets is this journey where we come down into this dense planet and we find our way back home. And we move up through the densities, up through the vibrational dimensional spaces, up through the frequency bands, until we reach the God worlds. And once we reach the God worlds, we realize that we were always there. We never actually had anywhere to go. And what is interesting is if you go to Egypt, there are pictures of the flower of life. But these are false codes. They're not the original flower of life. There was a false flower of life put into play to trick us, because this whole game, this whole expansion process, this whole ascension journey is fraught with challenges and tests. And it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. So many things in this reality look beautiful. Even if you look at nature, it looks beautiful. You look at a lot of this geometrical coding, it looks beautiful. But there are certain pieces of architecture that keep us locked in a false codex. And one of those pieces of geometrical coding that so many people in this spiritual world, this spiritual community, share with everyone is the flower of life. The flower of life that rotates out at a 60-degree rotation. It's not connected through the crystalline mathematics back to source. This kind of geometry is connected through the Fibonacci coding, the Fibonacci mathematics. 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5, 5 plus 3 equals 8, etc., etc., etc. When you look at this, 1 and 2 equals 3. Then 3 and 2 come together to make 5. Then what happens is 5 has to consume 3 to make 8. So these numbers eat each other. They consume each other. When you look at the crystalline mathematics, which start at 0 plus 1 equals 1. 0 plus 1 plus 1 equals 2. 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals 4. 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. And so on. And you expand and you've always got that link back to the 0 point. back to source. But the Fibonacci mathematics doesn't have that. And the false flower of life is running off of false geometry, which doesn't connect you back to the 0 point. But if you look at the real flower of life, it runs at a different mathematical frequency and carries crystalline coding. When you look at Cathara grid structures that rotate out from the 0 point, which all of our Stargate systems and nature itself is supposed to flow from, is the original coding. And so what Thoth is saying is, he who by progress has grown from the darkness, okay, you've grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into the light. And when we actually look at this, it's not really lifting yourself from the night into the light. It's actually realizing that the light comes out of the darkness. But if we fall too much into the darkness, we get lost. So we have to recode our mathematics and bring the dark and the light, the night and the light into equilibrium, because that's where we access our true power. Free is he made of the halls of Amenti. What he's saying is that you've got to move through these dimensional doorways. You've got to move through these vibrational gateways, through this ascension process. And as you go through this process, you're challenged and you're tested. But ultimately, you reconnect with your divinity. You reconnect with that God spark within. You reconnect with that diamond spark. You reconnect with God. You reconnect with Source. And you become super powerful, all-knowing, omnipotent. You become frequency. Manifest into a physical body. And from this point, you get to choose. Do I want to leave my body, take my consciousness somewhere else? Or do I want to stay in my physical body, dematerialize and rematerialize somewhere else? Or maybe I want to put my physical body on ice through certain technologies that are available and bounce my consciousness somewhere else and move through a different avatar for a little while and then maybe come back to this physical body. Or maybe I want to split my consciousness and run through two avatars at the same time. Because we're multi-dimensional beings, right? We've had multiple past life experiences, multiple future life experiences. We've had multiple incarnations on Earth. But once you get into the quantum field, you realize that all of these experiences are happening simultaneously at the same time, in the same space. There's no past, there's no future, there's only now. We have a massive opportunity on this planet, and that is to recode our inner mathematics, which will in turn flow out into the space and start to recode nature. It'll start to recode the planet. It will recode the stars and so on, because we are an extension of the universe, and the universe is an extension of us. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the fall that enabled the broken knee, or was it the broken knee that created the fall? Well, they're all happening at the same time. There is no chicken and egg scenario. There is no broken knee and falling scenario. Everything is simultaneous. And that's difficult for some people to get their head around. But once you go into deep meditation, or you do some kind of powerful breath work and you leave your body and you become consciousness, floating in that eternal now space, you realize how fluid and fast everything is. You're everywhere at the same time. And it feels amazing. It feels incredible. Stargates. There are different levels of stargates. There are planetary stargates, galactic stargates, universal stargates. There are stargates hanging around in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and so on dimension. What we're about to do very soon is activate and recode the 6th dimensional stargate structures and plug them into our organs, plug them into our spinal column, because it's actually the crystalline keys in the organs and the spinal column that give us access to these higher frequency band stargates. As we move up through the dimensional fields, the stargate structures change. They're much more fluid. They're never still. They're always in flux, always in motion. And there are multiple layers of the same stargate. And it's only when these multiple layers cross over each other and you move through them fluidly that you can move through the dimensional fields, through these Stargate systems, and take your physical body. The Stargate systems that run planetary at the moment, you can access through Egypt, you can access through Ireland, you can access through different spaces around the world. Uluru in Australia is another space, a 13th dimensional harmonic gateway, which has never been corrupted, which was put in place, or wasn't put in place, but was gifted and put in custodianship of the Dogon races, which are now the Aborigines. And they've taken great care of that at Ayers Rock. These Stargate structures require different access. Your inner mathematics has to be spot on, and you have to travel through the Stargates in a certain bend in space-time, which is known as the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was also said to be something physical. When you go into the King's Chamber and you play a certain harmonic frequency, just as you duck under the first part and stand up before you duck under the second part, if you stand up on there and play a certain resonance tone, it shifts the frequency in the King's Chamber. So when you go in, the geometry is completely different. I hired the whole Giza pyramid to myself on my birthday. Not last year, the year before, 2022, in March. And I went in there with the lights off and had an incredible experience. And I played that resonant tone before I went in there. Had the most incredible experience. We run tours to Egypt every year. We have been doing since 2018. You know, we've taken one of the biggest groups, 96 people, on a 16-day trip through all of the temple spaces, from the Giza Plateau all the way down to the Isis temple on the island of Philae. It's an incredible experience. We're going again in 4 weeks' time, in March. And then we stay for another 5 days afterwards. We roll out into the desert and we do psilocybin for 5 days. It's unreal. And if you're interested in that kind of trip, go to starmagichealing.org, okay? And join us. There's a few spaces left, 2 or 3 spaces. So coming back to this King's Chamber, when you go in there and you play that certain resonance harmonic, that certain vibrational frequency, it shifts the frequency of the chamber. Not many people know this. There are so many beautiful, magical, ancient, golden nuggets of knowledge and wisdom mathematically encoded into this great pyramid. When you go into the King's Chamber and you take your consciousness out of your body up into the chambers above the King's Chamber, you move through what's known as the Ark of the Covenant. And you can move through this ark, through this gateway, through various Stargate systems and up to the God worlds, through the Aramatena Gateway, Stargate number 12, up into the primary light and sound fields, which is one of the Lyran gateways. There's 3 Lyran gateways in the cradle of Lyra, and the Aramatena Gateway is number 12, the 3rd one, the last access gateway out of our 15th dimensional time matrix, which Thoth and a number of other beings have helped encode in a certain mathematical way. Now, all beings have dark and light inside of them, and Thoth has worked for the dark and the light. And there are certain elements of this being that carry beautiful sacred wisdom that we can take on board ourselves and use, and we've used this through Star Magic. We've changed the lives of thousands of people all over Earth, millions of people, to heal with the Star Magic frequency. China to America and everywhere in between. And all of these people have gone out and worked and healed many other people. And so yeah, we're in the millions of the people that we've helped shift physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Our level 2 training is all about Stargate work. It's about what happened in Atlantis and how you can use the sacred crystalline pillars of Atlantis to activate the sacred crystalline pillars within. And once you do, it switches your whole mathematical frequency, changes the current, the magnetics in your Merkaba field, And from there you can shift and tilt your Merkaba field at 90-degree rotations to move multi-dimensionally and get different access to different grid points, different dimensional spaces, and go and explore this multiverse. It's beautiful. What's important to remember, beautiful soul, is this. You're a mathematical equation. You are geometry, you are code. And the mathematics, the geometry, the code that you are is most likely off kilter. Pretty much all human beings on planet Earth are. Unless they've remembered this information and they've re-engineered their inner mathematics. And this is what we do on our level 2 training. This is what we do in Star Magic. We show you how to re-engineer your mathematics so your pineal gland can come back to its normal size, so your body can grow back to its normal size, so you can become the supersonic superhuman that you came to planet Earth to be. You have magic, you have alchemy, you have so much information encoded in your DNA template, in your own soul blueprint, in your own human blueprint, in your own extraterrestrial blueprint. And when you start to access this knowledge and wisdom, telepathy, telekinesis, bilocation, teleportation, phasing in and out of reality fields at will, becomes second nature. Healing people at distance becomes second nature. For those of you that know, back in 2009, I was taken in a spacecraft whilst I was meditating in a copper pyramid in a friend's garden in New Zealand. I was taken to Alpha Centauri, where I met a load of Lyran beings who are my soul family, my extraterrestrial family. They gave me the same codes. They downloaded them through my crown into my light body, into my physical body. They were the same codes that Thoth showed me in the ancient mystery schools. So this is alien technology that we're talking about, extraterrestrial technology. I don't really like to use that word aliens because we're just as alien as every other being. You know, we're alien to them as they're alien to us. Really, we're all just beings. And if you go down to the root core of every single sentient being in the whole multiverse, you realize those that have a soul are all the same. There are many that don't. There are many beings that are soulless. There are many AI technology beings, but this is a whole other story. If you want to plug yourself into the right frequency, you need to start working with the right light codes. You need to start re-engineering your own inner mathematics by communicating with the right beings. And through the right light codes, you can connect to the right beings. When you go to starmagichealing.org and you join Infinity, which you can do now and get access free for 7 days to all of the tools. Inside Infinity, you're going to find hundreds of light language transmissions, auditorial light language transmissions, plus light codes that you can stare at. When you listen and you stare at these codes, you are going to have downloads of crystalline keys that unlock your DNA and give you access to this multidimensional knowledge. It's not that it's secret. It's not that it's unobtainable. It's just that you have not been given the keys and the codes to access it yourself. So I'm sharing this opportunity with you right now. You can go and read my new book that came out in January last year, Activate Your Superhuman Potential. In there you're going to see pictures of the old flower of life, the real one, the true one, and the corrupted one. You're going to see the Metatronic architecture, Metatron's cube, which links into the false flower of life. These codes and frequencies are tricks. They are tests on this spiritual evolutionary process. And remember, it's not a spiritual awakening, it's a human awakening. The spirit was always there. The spirit was always awake. Again, it's an inversion. It's always an inversion. Everything is inverted. But you know the truth. Go into your heart and you're going to feel it. Don't believe a single word that comes out of my mouth. Okay? Don't believe a single word that comes out of anyone else's mouth. Feel this information. I love you, beautiful soul, so much. I'm in Barcelona right now and I'm going to go out and explore the city. There's some sacred geometrical places that I want to go to. And I'm going to be doing my own grid work. Everywhere I go, I'm dropping off codes, picking up codes, and so are you. We are mathematical beings. It's a mathematical game that we're playing. We're in a frequency war, a mathematical frequency war. So get your Merkaba field spinning correctly. Connect to Sirian, your top tetrahedron. Connect to Orion, your bottom tetrahedron. Set the intention to activate your Merkaba. Bring in the right frequencies, okay? Your top tetrahedron will spin clockwise, your male one. Your female one will spin anti-clockwise. The female one will spin twice as fast as the male one. And once this energy field kicks into gear, it's going to start a whole new process. From there, you can activate your multidimensional light. From there, you can activate your multidimensional light body. You can connect to these Stargate systems. You can switch on your multidimensional Merkaba field, which is 10 tetrahedrons, the stellated dodecahedron, that 12-pointed star. Those 12 points connect to 12 transmission centers, 12 stargates, 12 strands on your DNA blueprint. And once you do that, you connect and open up the 13th. Because our 12-strand blueprint is not really 12 strands, it's 13. But the 12 create the 13th, the whole. The same with our multidimensional Merkaba field. The same with our planetary, galactic, and universal Stargate systems. 12 points on the Cathara grid, but the 12 open up the 13th, which is the transharmonic gateway in Uluru. The custodians, the Dogons, they control this. They let interdimensional and multidimensional travel happen. They decide who comes in and who goes out. A lot of the other Stargates are corrupted. Iraq, for example. Okay, a heavy Stargate. Most of the primary Stargates have been heavily corrupted, but there are secondary Stargates that came online back in 2017. We helped open them. There are many groups around this planet doing this beautiful work. Connect with one of them. Wherever you are on this beautiful planet, go out and love your sisters and your brothers. Love them fiercely and ferociously. Hug them tightly and never, ever, ever be the first to let go. That's the golden rule of hugging. We're a family. One great big human family. So let's laugh and love, have fun, and be like little children, running around this planet, exploring, remembering, reawakening our own divinity, and stepping into our superhuman consciousness, activating all of that magic and alchemy that lies within every cell in our body. And remember, beautiful soul, go and check out our website, starmagichealing.org. We train people in Star Magic. Come to Facilitated Training Level 1. You'll get all the tools that you need to amplify your life, the lives of your clients, your friends, your family, your loved ones. You will be able to recode the architecture of any sentient being in the multiverse quickly and efficiently. We got 4 levels of training. Go and watch the videos, go and check it out. And remember to join Infinity. You get access to all of the advanced ascension tools. Hundreds of meditations, light language transmissions, light codes, cosmic yoga videos, high frequency nutrition, recipes, intermittent fasting, breathwork. There are mystery school teachings for days and months and years, hundreds of them on all different subjects and topics. You get access to all of this right now free for 7 days. What are you waiting for? Go and check it out. There's also private Telegram groups so you can connect with beautiful souls just like you on the same frequency with the same soul mission to elevate this planet and create a brand new world where the planet's resources are shared equally between all men, women, and children. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. We're beautiful. We are a team. We are a family. Let's unite and work together. Let's co-create. No separation. Don't be part of the black community or the white community or the spiritual community or support this team or that team. Just be you and see you in everyone else. The light, the frequency, the code. That's how we come together. No separation, no division. Love you, love everyone. And I'll see you again real soon. I love you, beautiful soul. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out.